Well, today we're going to talk about something a little different. We're going to talk about investing. And I'm not going to show you any fancy charts. I'm not going to recommend any fancy programs. I'm not going to tell you to read a bunch of Wall Street Journal or any other financial newspaper. But what we're going to talk about is some fundamental concepts in investing that just straight up make sense. And one of the first things we need to realize is we need to have the right mentality when investing. And we have to understand that investing in stocks is just like buying any product and selling any product. The first thing to do is to think of investing in stocks as buying a product. That's going to set you straight in terms of the mentality that you need to have to be successful in investing. You got to think of stocks as a product. I am buying a product, and just like any product, what do you do when you're buying a product and when you're selling a product? You want to buy a product at the cheapest price you can get it, and you want to sell that same product at the highest price you can sell it. That's the first concept. There are basically two concepts when it comes to stocks, and that is buying cheap and selling high. Next concept is buying a lot of a little or buying a little of a lot. And what do I mean by that second concept of buying a lot of a little or a little of a lot? Now, for example, when I say you buy a lot of a little, that's where we get into our penny stocks and stocks that are under $5. You buy a lot of those. So if the price were to rise, then you can make some good profit. Now, of course, I mean, all the major tech stocks that may be over $1,000, and stuff like that. Generally, we all would wish that we have a lot of money to buy a lot of those so that we can make a lot of money when they rise. However, my video is geared to people who have between $500 and $1,000 to invest. I'm talking about the small guy, who's just getting into it. And it's basically for beginners with a small little bit of money and want to invest or get started. So that sort of person is not able to buy a lot of stock that's worth more than $1,000. So there it comes is you'll have to buy a little of a lot. Okay, you'll have to buy a little of that stock that is pretty expensive and is quite viable and is going to make you a bit of money because those stocks, those high tech stocks, um, they generally continue to grow over time. Now, one of the first things that I learned when I started investing is to think of the growth of your stocks as how your lawn or your grass grows. If you look at it every day, you're not going to see the growth and you probably will get frustrated. But if you don't look at it for a couple of weeks, then when you look at it, you will see that it has grown. Stocks is the same thing. If you buy some stocks and you're expecting it's going to grow overnight or it's going to grow in a couple of days and it's like some get rich scheme and you're going to run away with a lot of money, it's not going to happen. Being in it for too much of a long haul is also frustrating because again, the guy who has $500 to $1,000 and wants to invest does not want to wait 20 or 30 years from now to see that $1,000 um, grow into a few $1,000s. So there are a lot of ways that you can invest in stocks and make a few bucks so you get a little income stream besides what else you're doing. I'm not going to recommend that you leave your job and you get started in only investing because then for a few months, at least 6 months or a year, you would not be making a lot of money. And having left your job, then you would have lucked out. Understand again that in the open market, you're competing with guys who have millions, billions, and you have big sharks who invest in. in the market, and your little $500 or $1,000 is not going to get you rich overnight. So you have to understand that. You have to also understand that stocks generally move by a few percentage points, between 1 and 3. So the guy who invests $1 million on his 1 or 3% increase in a stock will make a lot of money. However, the guy who invests $1,000 is not going to make a lot of money. Whatever you do in investing into stocks, I always tell my friends, I said, look, you have to try to invest in a stock based on the money you have that at least you can buy 100 shares of that stock. That's the only way you're going to make a few bucks. If you're unable to buy 100 shares of a particular stock, then leave it alone. Let's break it down mathematically. Just think about it. If you have a stock that's worth $10 the time you bought it, and it increases by 3%, right? So that stock would have only increased by 30 cents. Now, if you had bought 100 shares of that stock, it means that you would have made $30 on that particular $10 stock. Not a bad profit, right? So the guy who has $500 investing in that particular stock pretty much would have, came off pretty well. So he would have made, instead of making that $30, he would have made half of that, because he would have, put at $500 in that $10 stock, and he would have bought 50 shares, right? So a guy who has $1,000 definitely would have come off pretty well. He would have made $30 on that $10 stock. Think of the guy now who had $100,000 to invest. He now would have bought 10,000 shares of that particular stock, and he would have walked away with $3,000 on his investment if it had risen by 3%. So you see, it's all about the numbers. So a lot of the people who are coming here to fool you and try to make this look so attractive and bamboozle you into believing that you're going to get rich overnight, please do not be fooled. I'm not here to do that to you. I'm here to be honest. I'm here to be straightforward. And the people that's selling you these elixirs, they're just playing games with you. The way they make their real money is through the YouTube algorithm and through the monetization of their channel. And of course, a lot of people get taken in by a lot of fancy nonsense. But I'm not here for that. I'm here to be honest and straightforward with you. And hopefully we all can grow together and we can make money together. I'm also going to actually do some trades with between $500 and $1,000. Let you see the actual trades. Let you see the money that is made, so that you can understand exactly how these concepts work. So let's just recap. Remember, the first and most important thing in investing is how you think about investing. And how should you think about investing? Think about investing as buying a product. That's the key to any beginner investor. Think of it as a product. And with any product, you have to buy cheap and you have to sell high. Okay? So keep that in mind. Also, remember, there's the concept of buy a lot of a little or a little of a lot. So now that you understand these two concepts, in upcoming videos, we'll get a little more into these particular concepts and see how we can apply them so we can all make some money. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and then we'll have some more discussions on investing. Have a great night. Take care.